Hello, everybody. I am Colonel Sanjay Pandey, and with me is Shubhankar,
Hi.
my colleague. This series that we are starting on entrepreneurship is all about my journey from 2006 to 2021, 15 years post retirement. I would straight away come to why did I leave army? If you see on social media or my website colonelsanjaypandey.com or a Twitter handle or Facebook or Insta, wherever, tremendous information is available, and particularly on my blog you'll find my entire military career and my bio. It is in open for public. I don't hide anything. I left in 2006 when I was at peak of my army career. No one leaves in those years. No one leaves a career when they are at peak. I had my compulsions for which I left. I'll divide that period of last 15 years. One is from 2006 to about 2011, 5 years, and 2012 till this video. Army career gave me one of the finest exposures to life. When I was at the peak of my career, I was commanding a unit. 700 people under me in Batalik. Anything I would say would happen. Gallantry awards to the unit, citation to the unit. And when I was absolutely at the peak of my qualifications in my career, I put in my papers and I came out of army. The only thing I carried, which I knew a army guy carries, when he comes outside army, is only one thing: ego, nothing else. And I was fully aware of it. I decided not to pick up any job. I just wanted to crush the ego because I just wanted to settle in the civil society. And how would I do that? I simply stopped using my rank. From the month I came out, from the very next month, if I had to go to a state government office or to a MTNL office or to a local district office or to any government office where they had no idea that I was an officer, I would dress very simply and I would be made to sit by a PN on a bench for an hour and 2 hours. A clerk would humiliate me. A minor official would always talk to me in a very, very arrogant manner. I would lump it. I started my own company, Olive Green HR Services. There was someone running this company in Ajmer. So he said that, okay, fine, he will give me whatever it was called that time. So I would do on his behalf. And soon I realized that after I had placed about 25, 26 people in jobs, basically in the finance sector, he simply decided not to give me any money. And then thereafter, after placing about 40, 50 people, he just threw about 45 odd thousand rupees instead of my payment of almost about 2.5 lakh. And thereafter, it was just one telephone call, abuses to me, and he cut the call. Then I went to some retail company where they had numerous amount of number of showrooms and they wanted to know why their showrooms aren't working. And then putting all my capabilities together, I went around all these their showrooms incognito and to interact with their staff. And then I submitted them a massive report, which included as to how their boards outside should be and how their people should be talking and dressing, and then gave a training program. And all this was implemented. And then when I asked for the payment, they said, how much do you want? I had no idea that I had to have a contract. I should have negotiated everything first. And I always thought that the fabulous work that I had done, that I'll earn some good money. I think they threw 15,000 rupees on me. And later on, I came to know that the same retail chain had paid about 5 lakh rupees for the same job that I had done. In the next phase, Then I joined a management institute. I said, okay, fine, I'll teach management to MBA students. And then I landed up in that institute. So they never had any, they were not getting any students. So I applied my mind. From email marketing to whatever, I employed two people, and thereafter we sent, I think, over 8,000 emails and contacted. And from about 60 to 70 students they were getting. That particular year, they had got 180. And then I went for the payment. And again, I got a kick. So they just gave me 4-5,000 rupees, and then I insisted. I sat down in that director's office, and I decided I will not move out unless I am paid. And even if I had to stay there for the night, I will stay there. So thereafter, the money was paid. And that's a time after having got humiliated on streets, which I was actually doing it with a purpose, that I wanted to kill my ego, which was killed very nicely. And within no time, I realized that I was actually ready for the street, for the corporate job, with absolutely no ego, all capability. And then I thought that yes, joining a corporate means tremendous amount of respect for your capabilities. And that's where I joined the first company. Uh, 3 months exactly, and on the Ugadi day, or whatever that new year or whatever it is, I just sent in my resignation. Reasons different. No, there was no job satisfaction at all. And then after a couple of months, I joined another company. I stayed there for about 3 years, from heading the marketing to exports to R&D and designing things. At the end of the day, I realized no, I am not made for corporate at all. Money never attracted me. Values did, character did, and the work did. Probably I always thought that just about 10-15% of my capability was being utilized. That's all. And I was made for much, much, much bigger things. Within the job, uh, with very limited amount of power, I would go. So that was life. No, I was not interested in money. I knew that I could do much, much, much more. And then finally, at the end in 2012, I decided to start my own company. And I said, this is going to be entrepreneurship, and I'll start it exactly the way I think a company should be run, where character and commitment and capability, if exactly followed in this order, I was very sure the company will succeed. And then thereafter, my journey in 2012 started, a private limited company. And after a huge amount of upheavals and almost about seven bankruptcies till 2018, the company was running. It never got closed. But then the amount of experience I had in these 6 years, no one can ever give anyone. The mistakes I did in entrepreneurship, the mistakes I did, I realize what I did then. 2018, Shubhankar joined. I knew Shubhankar right from 2009, 2010, when he was in school. He is classmate of my son. And thereafter, he did his class 12 in 2013. Thereafter, he did his BTech. After BTech, Shubhankar got placed in a MNC. He did his job there. I think he got started getting frustrated because he had already done about 5 internships with me. Very, very intense internships he had done. He also had that fire of wanting to become an entrepreneur, and he finally took a decision one day and he called it off. He resigned. He joined my company. It wasn't a favor I did to him. He also knows it. He knew how tough as a boss I was.
Actually, I would say I didn't. I found out later on.
He found out later on. So, yeah, of course. So he found out much later that no, I was a very, very different type of a very tough boss. But yes, the aim was very simple. He wanted to join me for a purpose. And I told him that I'll give you a 3 year program if you want to become one. It's 3 years. And Shubhankar has performed, let me tell you, wonderfully well. much more than my expectations. And let me give you assurance, at 26 years of age, probably Shubhankar can do the tasks of any senior vice president in any corporate, and maybe way, way, way better than him, for a simple reason: not only his vertical, he knows every vertical. He's learnt everything here. And that's how we came down to the idea of having this series of entrepreneurship. Here I was, a man who wanted to become one, who struggled, and for after retirement, for 5 years I struggled. I somehow coped with the corporate. In 2012 I started. 6 years I have suffered ups and downs. And thereafter, the last 3 years have been wonderful. Shubhankar has joined as a youngster, and from there he has learnt everything. So between us, we have learnt everything about entrepreneurship, and that is what this series is going to be about. I would end my initial interaction with you here now. We'll come to the next episode, where I will leave everything to Shubhankar to talk, so that he tells his side of story. And let me tell you, there are absolutely no holds barred between us. If he is angry and he has not been happy, he's going to be talking against me also, and I don't mind. That's how we were, an absolutely open company. So it was flat hierarchy, not for talking purpose. It was a flat hierarchy which we have been practicing for all this while. And thereafter, when Shubhankar finishes his episode, from third episode onwards, we will take you on this entrepreneurship journey, which I am telling you is going to be one of the most interesting journeys for anyone who wants to become, who already is, or has been an entrepreneur and thinks he's successful. I think you need to see this. You need to see our episodes. Thank you so much. And over to the next episode, where Shubhankar takes on. Right, Shubhankar?
Yes.
Chalo. Thank you. Bye.